Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you my super simple treat bag toppers. It is what it is. It's a simple topper for a treat bag. Excuse me. I've chosen chocolates to put in this one. These are my favourite chocolates. Oh my goodness, they're amazing. Anyway, I wanted to use this gorgeous Lily Impressions DSP. It's the Celebration one, but it's just lovely. It really is. Some of the papers are quite dark, but again, if you add them to a light cardstock, actually, they're not that bad. And they're really quite pretty. They're watercoloured lilies, I think, as far as I'm aware, hence it being called Lily Impressions. But yeah, I've also used the Lily dies, Lily pad dies, which again are a Celebration item. But yeah, I loved it, and I just thought these would be great. They're little party bags for people, maybe favours, anything like that. Is just fabulous, and they're just so simple, and you can decorate them however you like. This one is for somebody to make them feel better. This would definitely make me feel better every day of the week. So I'm going to show you how to make it, and it's dead simple. So a piece of cardstock that is 4.5 by 3 inches, and then you're going to score it in half. So 4.5 by 3, which is 12 by 7.5 centimetres. You score the long side at 2.25, which is 6 centimetres. That's it. Simple A card, tent card. You then need your 2 pieces of DSP. So I've used Melon Mambo here. This is one of the other patterns. Again, the lovely watercolour. So my DSP is 2 by 2 3/4 of an inch, which in centimetres is 5.5 by 7. And then I'm simply going to pop these onto the card. And I don't think this paper really has a right and wrong way, other than maybe you want your lilies sitting on the lily pads as opposed to hanging upside down, but I don't know. And then, so that is your basic pattern. We're going to pop some tear and tape on the inside of the cards here. So I'm just going to run a piece just there and a piece just here. Now, I had a lovely lady comment on one of my videos a little while back and said, why do you cut tear and tape when it's called tear and tape because you can tear it, or words to that effect? And I did say to her, the reason is that I'm a bit of a tidy freak, and everything is always done tidy, if that makes sense. I also find that if I put tear and tape on and then try and tear it, it actually tears the card, and I just don't like that because, again, I'm a tidy freak, so that's why I cut it. I just prefer the neater ends. That's just me. So tear and tape on the inside. Let's flip it back over. You may need to decide which you want as the front or back, dependent on your pattern. It really doesn't matter. And then you need your treat bags. So they are the 3 by 6 or 7.6 by 15.2 gusseted cellophane bags. They are amazing. You get 25 in here. And as I say, once they're filled, like this one, you can sort of put the bottom so they can be square. So you could have a flat bottom or a pointed one. It's entirely your choice. But as I said, as soon as you pop then they are food safe as well. So you could put homemade cookies in there or anything. But you can fold them over to get a flat base. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does. There's plenty of tutorials out there. I'm fairly certain I've done one previously as well. So that's those. So I've done mine, and I filled this one with goodies. I had to go with these because I figured they went with the Melon Mambo. I'm all about coordination, just like Stampin' Up. I thought this was quite close to the Grapefruit Grove. So yeah, that's why I went for those sweets. How sad am I? So I've popped a few sweets in here, and then you simply want to make sure you leave enough room for this to be I'm trying to do it over the pink so you can see, so that the all of the folds and everything will go together, and you've still got a good inch here of space. Because what you need to do, and I obviously will do this in a moment, but you need to have enough space for your bag to sit inside like that, so there's plenty. You don't want it there because it's kind of just not going to be quite how I designed it. So a good 3/4 of the way up, and obviously then it gets closed. So that's that point, but I'll put those to one side because I want to finish decorating this. So as you've seen on this one, I used the Lily Impressions dies, sorry, the Lily Pad dies, which I have here. Now again, lovely dies. So I used this one here to die cut my flower, but I felt it got a little bit lost on the paper because it was a bit crazy busy paper, and I wanted the backing on there. So what I did, and this is how I did it, so I'll move those out of the way. So I die cut my flower, I had another piece of cardstock, and then I used my fine tip glue pen, and I literally went all the way round my flower, my die cut, every little edge, especially on the edges. I won't carry on because I've done one already because it's time consuming. I then, whoops, I then stuck it onto my scrap of card, and I just gave it a little while to dry. And then once it was dry, I then got my paper snips that I'm hiding, and I just simply cut around the actual die cut. So, but notice one thing as I'm cutting, my scissors are at an angle. That's because when I cut it, I want to sort of cut under, not too deeply, but if you cut just slightly under, you'll get that clean edge, okay? If I was to just go around, and I'll do it with this one, can you see how it leaves a bit? I hope that makes sense, but it kind of doesn't cut flush, and so if you cut slightly at an angle, what you're doing is you're still sort of cutting, but it cuts flush, okay? Because you're almost cutting just slightly under the die cut, and it gives you that neater finish. And so here's one I made earlier. So glued on, cut all the way around, and I get that beautiful backing that now means that it stands proud on there. It doesn't get hidden and lost. So once that's done, I'm going to pop some snail and stick my beautiful die cut lily on there, and then a little sentiment, and I've got my, oh sorry, this isn't Melon Mambo, this is Lovely Lipstick, because I have my lovely lipstick here, my lovely lipstick gross grain ribbon that I just need a very small amount of, and I have my itty bitty greetings. I'm going to go again with Hope You're Feeling Better, because I quite like that. And then I have my Lovely Lipstick or Coastal Cabana. I think it'll have to be Coastal Cabana actually, otherwise that lily's going to be a bit random, isn't it? So Coastal Cabana, a little bit of Whisper White, just in that top corner there. And then I'm just going to move those. Oops, I've ploughed everything on top of my trimmer there, which was foolish because I now need it. And then I'm just going to cut this down. That's actually not straight, is it, that edge? So let's try that. I'm confused now, what's not straight? Let's try and do it straight actually. I don't know, maybe it's my eyes that aren't straight today. It's quite possible. Okay, that's it, that'll do. And then I just really cut this at an angle. And then just trim that piece there. There we go, it's a bit neater. Okay, and then again just back in with a dimensional just on there and another one just there, because I then want a glue dot just on this end here, and then I'm going to fold my lovely lipstick just to give it a bit of a tail, as it were, and then I'm actually going to stick another glue dot over the top just to keep that in place, and then the backing off dimensionals, and then it can sit just off the edge of the flower. Now if you want to leave these tails the length you have, then obviously you can, or if you want to give them a trim. And now all we need to do is adhere our bag. So I'm going to take both pieces off, and then bring in my bag of sweeties, and like I said, I just want to line all this up, keeping it all straight, because I want this edge here to line up with this edge, because this is literally a fraction bigger, if not the same size. So we want to make sure that's all neat and tidy and not sliding around. And then I'm just going to pop this on my card, press that down, bring the top over and press that down. And then you can always get your fingers just through the folds in the bag there, or press that card together. But the nice thing is it's still a tent fold at the top, so there's room for your sweets to be moved about so you look like you've got more. But there they are. There are my simple, super simple treat bag toppers. I hope you like them, and I hope you've got some ideas of who you can give these to, or maybe a party coming up that you can make them for. Hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye.